Do you ever struggle making conversations with new people? Have you ever felt that doing so is awkward and weird? By the way, this is Rene Azuelo and we will talk about the important practices on how to become an effective communicator. Here are things that you should know before doing the public speaking. Let's begin with the appearance, the dress, and posture. Dressing plays an important role in public speaking as it certainly reflects your seriousness towards the job and life in general as well as your upbringing, thought process, and overall attitude. Dress codes are used to communicate the employees to what organizations consider appropriate work attire. A dress code or appearance policy allows to set expectations regarding the image it wants to convey. Next is the proper body posture. It helps you to feel calm and confident inside and look calm and confident on the outside. It demonstrates high status, meaning, and the audience feel you have something worth listening to. It helps you to breathe easily and project your voice. The closed and open posture. A closed posture is someone seated in a closed positions, might have his or her arms folded, leg crossed, or be positioned at a slight angle from the persons with whom they are interacting with, while the open posture is someone directly facing you with the hands apart, and an open posture can be used to communicate the openness or the interest in someone and the readiness to listen, whereas the closed posture might imply the discomfort or the disinterest. Now, the eye contacts. The way you look at someone communicate many things, including the interest, affection, hostility, or attraction. Eye contact is also important in maintaining the flow of conversations and for gauging the other person's interest and response. Tips to avoid during speech is that do not stare to your notes at whole time because it shows unpreparedness. Facial expressions are important when speaking. A smile is the best way to start speaks. It relaxes you and the audience. Facial expressions can also enhance the words you say, much like gestures. Let's proceed to the movements and gesture. Use a simple hand gesture, not too much action, and avoid unnecessary body movements because it can affect your delivery of speech. Considering this movement for effective delivery of your speech, the upper body toward the audience, and feet and legs for movements from one side to another to show the transitions while you're speaking. If your audience asks questions, then stand still without any movements to show that you're listening and have an interest to their concerns. Hand and finger movements. Make a conversations or public speaks more compelling, trustworthy, and help the listener to connect better. Hand gestures can also often help emphasize certain points of your speech and strengthen your public speaking message. People pay attention to movements and gestures during speeches. If you purposely use your body to stress a certain idea by clapping or pointing, the audience is much more likely to remember what you said. Powerful speakers use public speaking tactic throughout their speech and it clearly works. Now, let's talk about the handouts and the visual aid presentation during your speech. Visual aids should use in presentations. Why? Because it makes the content easier to express coherently, which makes it easier for you to deliver and for the audience to understand. They also assist in giving the presentations more variations, which keeps the audience interested and can also help the audience to properly understand a certain process of a system. Providing handouts allows your audience to get a clear overview of the main points, or to sum up what they have heard afterwards. Here are things that you might use in a visual aids presentations. The whiteboards are good for developing an explanations, diagram, and simple headlines. A short video will give the better ideas for your visions or approach and more efficiently that everyone benefits. And last, the proxemics. It involves the distance between ourselves and the other when having a conversations. Delivering a speech or lecture or sharing an intimate moment, the amount of space really between the other person and ourselves can signal our level of trust and relationship with that person. The different distance zones include the intimate, personal, social, and public. Intimate distance is that is which is used for very confidential communications. This zone of distance is characterized by 0 to 2 feet of space between two individuals. An example of intimate distance is two people hugging, holding, or standing side by side. Personal distance is used for talking with family and close friends. Although it gives a person a little more space than intimate distance, it is still very close in a proximity that is that of intimacy and may involve touching. Personal distance can range from 2 to 4 feet. Social distance is used in a business transactions, meeting new people, and interacting with groups of people. Social distance has a large range in a distance that it can be incorporated, from 4 feet to 12 feet. It is clear that social distance depends on this situation. Social distance may be used among students, co-workers, or acquaintances. The public distance is measured at 12 or more feet between the persons. These things are important before you start and while you are speaking in front of a lot of people. You can also show your professionalism and deliver well what you want to convey to the audience.